Rustom is a medium-altitude long-endurance unmanned combat air vehicle being developed by Defense Research and Development Organization for the three services, Indian Army, Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force of the Indian Armed Forces. Rustom is derived from the NAL's LCRA developed by a team under the leadership of late Professor Rustom B Damania in the 1980s. The UAV will have structural changes and a new engine. Rustom will supplement the Heron UAVs in service with the Indian Armed Forces. Design and development: Rustom 1's basic design is derived from the NAL Light Canard research aircraft. The aircraft has been named after Rustom Damania, a former professor of IISc, Bangalore who died in 2001. As a Parsi, Rustom himself was named after the Persian general Rostam Farrakhzad in the Sassanid court who fought the Muslim Arabs. DRDO decided to name the UAV after him because it is derived from National Aerospace Laboratory's Light Canard research aircraft developed under Rustom Damania unregistered trademark S leadership in the 1980s. With the Rustom Male UAV project, DRDO intends to move away from traditional ways of developing products whereby laboratories under DRDO, like the Aeronautical Development Establishment, which is involved in this project, develop and finalize the product and transfer technology to a production agency. DRDO will follow a practice of concurrent engineering where initial design efforts also take into consideration production issues, with the production agency participating in the development of the system right from the design stage. The agency will also follow up issues related to infrastructure and expertise for the product and its support, thereby overcoming time delays in crucial projects. Rustom 1, which bears an uncanny resemblance to Rutan Long EZ designed by Burt Rutan, has a wingspan of 7.9 meters and weighs 720 kilograms, will be launched by the conventional method, not the launcher as in the case of the DRDO Lakshya. Rustom will be able to see the enemy territory up to a distance of 250 kilometers and carry a variety of cameras and radar for surveillance. Rustom H, built on a different design, owes nothing to Burt Rutan's Long EZ design. It is a medium-altitude long-endurance unmanned aerial vehicle, a twin-engine system designed to carry out surveillance and reconnaissance missions. Rustom H will have a payload capacity of 350 kilograms. The range of advanced technologies and systems include the following: aerodynamic configurations, high aspect ratio wing, composite airframe integrated with propulsion system, de-icing system for wings, highly reliable systems with built-in redundancy for flight-critical systems like flight control and navigation, data links, power management, and mission-critical payload management system, digital flight control and navigation system, automatic takeoff and landing, digital communication technologies for realizing data links to control and operate the mission and relay UAVs, payloads with high-resolution and precision-stabilized platforms. Variants: there will be 3 variants of the Rustom UAV. Rustom I, tactical UAV with endurance of 12 hours, Rustom H, larger UAV with flight endurance of over 24 hours, higher range and service ceiling than Rustom I. Rustom II, an unmanned combat air vehicle based on Rustom H model. It is often compared with Predator drones by Indian scientists and media. Current status: the Indian government has allowed the development of the Rustom Male UAV project in association with a production agency cum development partner. The ADE officials indicated that the requests for proposals would shortly be issued to 4 vendors, which are the Tatas, Larsen & Toubro, Godrej and Hindustan Aeronautics Limited Bharat Electronics, who were chosen out of the 23 firms that responded. Currently, negotiations are underway between these companies and the 3 Indian Armed Forces, since the private majors are looking for support and commitment from them before they start executing any development and production plans. This is because of the fact that the chosen PADP will also have a financial stake in the Rustom project. The armed forces would also be asked to take up a financial stake, and the Indian government may have to guarantee that a specific number of Rustom UAVs will be bought. Rustom I The first flight of Rustom I UAV took place on November 16, 2009 at the Tanajai Aerospace Airfield near Hosa. The demonstration resulted in the prototype crashing to the ground. Stated by the DRDO, The taxiing and takeoff was exactly as planned. Due to misjudgment of altitude of the flight, the onboard engine was switched off through ground command, which made the onboard thrust develop to go to zero. Despite the mishap, the state-owned Defense Research and Development Organization stated, the flight proved the functioning of a number of systems such as aerodynamics, redundant flight control, engine and data link, which go a long way towards the development of a complex UAV. The second maiden flight took place on October 15, 2010. In this test flight, the UAV flew for 30 minutes at an altitude of 3,000 feet. The test was conducted in Hosa. The Indian Army was impressed with Rustom 1 and will use it as a male UAV. Rustom 1 made its fifth successful flight on morning of November 12, 2011, flying for 25 minutes at 2,300 foot AGL at a speed 100 knots. It completed its eighth successful flight on December 8, 2011. It flew at an altitude of 6,000 feet and at a speed of 90 knots during its 30 minutes flight near Hosa, claims DRDO. The highlight of the flight was that Rustom 1 was test-flown with the gimbal payload assembly carrying daylight TV and infrared camera for the first time. Good quality pictures were received from the camera in gimbal payload assembly. The 14th successful flight of Rustom 1 was reported on May 8, 2012, with the attainment of about 11,500 feet above ground level and speed of above 140 kmph during 2 hours 10 minutes of operation. Rustom 2 Rustom 2 is an unmanned combat air vehicle developed by India on the lines of the American Predator drones. In October 2010, a senior DRDO official stated, in February 2012, ADE Director P.S. Krishnan stated, Specifications of Rustom 1 and Rustom H are as follows, data from defstrat.com, idp.gist80.com and Stargazer 2006 online FR, general characteristics, crew, none, payload, 95 kg and 350 kg, length, 5.12 meters and 9.5 meters, wingspan, 7.9 m and 20.6 m, height, Rustom 1, 2.40 m, empty weight, 720 kg and 1,800 kg, power plant, Rustom I-1A, Lycoming 0320 engines 4-cylinder air-cooled horizontally opposed engine. 112 kilowatts, Rustom H-2A, NPO Saturn 36 MT engines wing-mounted turboprop, 73.55 kilowatts each. Performance, maximum speed, 225 km per hour, range, line of sight, 250 km, relay communication, 350 km. Ferry range, 1,000 km for Rustom 2, service ceiling, 26,000 feet for Rustom 1 and 35,000 feet for Rustom H. See also, Unmanned Aerial Vehicle, Related Development, DRDO Aura, Aircraft of Comparable Role, Configuration and Era, Shard 129, IAI Iten, IAI Heron, EADS Hufang, MQ-1 Predator, TAI Anchor, Related Lists, List of Unmanned Aerial Vehicles. References. External links, Medium Altitude Long Endurance UAV Rustom, the first flight of Rustom 1 male UAV second prototype,